had to really think about things as far as decades. I had to think about how change is really incremental. It's like, it's almost like I was driving one day and I really had to say, okay, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. Change is possible. It's not going to happen in a straight line. It's not going to happen in the direction that you want. Think about the people that came before you. Think about the civil rights activists. Think about all the things that they weren't able to do. Think about how much like hopelessness that they had about things that are actually happening today.
In moments like these, it's kind of hard to find hope. When, you know, the world looks bleak and dark and like it's going to end. But I feel like what gives me hope is the fact that I look back in the past, in like through history, and I like think of what first comes to mind is John Lewis. And like when he literally had, you know, dogs on him, he had, you know, like dogs like tearing him to shreds because he wanted to crossed the Edmund Pettus Bridge. And then I fast forwarding that his life and all the struggles that he went through to be able to finally, you know, be a congressperson and be able to be in the seat of power and be able to see someone like himself as a sort of like direct result of his struggles in the past, see someone like himself rise to power, like the presidency. So it makes me think like all the struggles that we're going through now and all the, you know, turmoil and all the kind of crap that that's being thrown at us, like in the future, things will get better. And that's what kind of like drives me.
One thing I think I find hope in is I like to think back to like the Stonewall riots and specifically about like LGBTQ rights, is that like when there's a sense of community and something worth fighting for, there's continuity. You know, there's a pattern that we see that there will always be people willing to fight if it's a fight worth fighting for. And knowing that myself, like I'm a part of a community and know people personally that have that same kind of drive and that same kind of passion to not just see change, but to be the change, really instills a lot of hope into me.
Fighting absolutely 100% has to happen. And I believe that it's worth it. I believe, you know, that individuals do have power, and that's why I dedicated my life and my career to doing it too, not just my free time.
What gives me hope is this degree. In a year from now, I will be an educated Black woman. And I hope, with my air quotes, I hope that people will take my word just a little bit more seriously as an educated Black woman about all the discrepancies I see in my reality, to be honest. So I really, you know, as it relates to politics, it's definitely personal to me. And for me, it's all about the legacy I live. As Cher says, I cannot help but to think about the people that have come before me. And so as I am this college student for one more year, I really hope that, you know, it sets me up to, and as a journalist, it sets me up to tell the stories that I need to tell, to give perspective to the world. And as corny as that may sound, that is really like where my mind is as it relates to politics and like what gives me hope, and that I can hopefully one day write something or say something that really opens someone's eyes or shocks them enough to think differently for once in their life. But that's what gives me hope.